So initially I had no plans to make any sort of video talking about Call of Duty Vanguard because to be honest, I was not that excited for it at all. I don't know why. I think it was just because it was rumored to be World War II again. And although I've loved World War II games in the past, and even most recently I've enjoyed playing Hell Let Loose, it's awesome. Very different from Call of Duty, but we've had so many World War II Call of Duty games that the idea of just playing another one was not very exciting to me. And Sledgehammer's last attempt at World War II was pretty underwhelming. All that aside, Vanguard did not have me hyped initially, but having played a few hours of the multiplayer beta on PC, I've come to realize that I actually had quite a bit of fun with it, which is surprising because while we were playing, it was so hectic. I'd never been a part of a preview for a multiplayer game quite like this, where it was very structured and organized in a way where they'd tell us exactly what game mode to select, what map to select, and we'd play 1 or 2 matches of that. Then we'd move on to the next one immediately after. So it was really difficult for me to process my thoughts in the moment. So a quick 2.5, 3 hours go by and I put it aside because unfortunately I don't do this for a living. It's not my full-time gig. So I had to put it aside for a few days, but jumping back in to scrub through the gameplay to upload to the channel, got a patrol match on there, blitz match and a domination match, I came to realize I really enjoyed it. So very generally speaking, if I had to sum up what Vanguard feels like to play, of course it feels like a Call of Duty game. It is, at the end of the day, another Call of Duty game, but it very much feels like a mix of Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 4. Really the intensity and pace of Call of Duty 4 with sort of the feel of the weapons and map design of Call of Duty 2. Now they all are 3-lane maps in traditional Call of Duty fashion, but what really separates them, in my opinion, are the varying levels of elevation throughout all of them. Also things you can interact with in the map, including platforms and certain doorways that open and close, as well as the new destructible environments that include a lot of walls and floors you can break through that give you tactical advantages and new ways to traverse through the maps. And they're also very visually appealing. I've always been a fan of diversity and not just, of course, the way maps feel to play, but the way they look. There's one on a beach with a thunderstorm that looks really cool in action. There's one in a fancy villa up in the mountains, another that's on the inside of a fancy club and a rooftop, and another in a snowy town that definitely feels the most like Call of Duty 2. There's going to be 20 maps at launch, and the handful I've played on have been really fun so far. Really don't have any complaints, but they do vary a bit based on the game mode. So what's interesting about Vanguard is that they've implemented a system called combat pacing. And within that system, there's tactical, assault, and blitz. So tactical, smaller teams, usually 6 on 6. Assault's very much your standard Call of Duty experience, I think 8 to 12 players. And blitz can be anywhere between 20 and 48 based on the size of the map. And to a degree, I've had fun with all of them. The smaller the teams, the more fun I've traditionally had in Call of Duty, but even the standard experience like 6 to 8 is awesome, functions like any other Call of Duty. But Blitz, on the other hand, is a little hit or miss for me so far because while I did play a few good matches, it is so chaotic and insane when it's between 20 and 48 players that it's truly exhausting. I mean, you are constantly either being shot at or shooting someone. I don't think there's a single moment where there isn't someone on screen firing at someone. It is ridiculous. Now, in one sense, it is fun if you're playing well. I think I averaged between 25 and 40 kills a match in Blitz mode, but I had some teammates getting 60, 70, sometimes 80 kills in a match, which is just ridiculous. But it can also be very frustrating because, like I said, there are players running around in different directions at all times. I found myself getting killed in the back constantly if I was spawning in weird places, or people are dying too quickly. They're spawning all over the place. You could be on a streak, get 7 or 8 kills, and have an entire team spawn behind you. So I don't know if that's an issue with having to figure out the spawns after people play through the beta, and maybe Sledgehammer will refine that, but sometimes I had fun, sometimes I didn't, but overall it's exhausting. I think we played 2 or 3 Blitz matches and I was ready to be done after that. I'd had enough after one. But I do like that players have the option because I know everyone has different play styles, different preferences, and the fact that you can jump between all 3 at will is a huge plus for me. So one of the new game modes is called Patrol, and similar to playing Blitz, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it just yet. There were matches where I had a lot of fun, and other matches where I found myself extremely frustrated because I have teammates that just didn't want to play the objective. And ultimately, that's not necessarily my fault, I guess, or the developer's fault. It just really comes down to how well your team's functioning. So Patrol is essentially headquarters or king of the hill with a control point that's constantly moving around the ring. It never stops for anything, and you only score if you have at least a teammate in the ring at all times. So what's cool is that you do get to explore every nook and cranny of each multiplayer map in control mode because that thing's constantly moving. And that being said, it can be frustrating when you're in the ring and you have enemy players just coming from all directions and you're just dying repeatedly, especially when you're adamant about playing the objective. But there were also moments where I had phenomenal teammates where there'd be 3 or 4 of us in the ring. We'd all be facing different directions as the ring moves. And it's pretty sick to be on the move with a team if you're all moving in a unit, firing in different directions, remaining in the ring and not dying. It's actually a pretty cool experience. And we played Patrol mostly set to blitz combat pacing, so it was pretty insane as well. But I think it'll function better with smaller teams, probably in tactical or assault, because when there's just that many people shooting at you at one time, it just gets, again, exhausting. But I think in a tactical sense, that game mode will be a lot more interesting, controlling the map, controlling the zone as you're moving with smaller teams. I think Champion Hill has a lot of potential to be a pretty popular mode as well. Now, I like Battle Royale, but I'm more of a fan of elements of Battle Royale mixed with other game modes, and this very much feels like a cross between Gunfight and Warzone as it was pitched, and it really does live up to that description. I don't really have any complaints about the arenas. I really like that whatever weapon you have equipped, you can upgrade at will when you're collecting money. I like that in the buy rounds, you can choose which perks you want to add, equipment, and just really spending your money at will is very satisfying, especially when you're on a winning team. It's highly competitive and it's very satisfying to win, and it's pretty unique that it's based on the amount of deaths you have left over. So naturally that encouraged me to play a little more tactically, but I have played against teams that just run and gun and destroy everyone, so I guess it really depends on how you and your teammates decide to tackle it. But I think that's what's really cool about it, is that it's highly competitive, there are multiple ways to approach each round and multiple ways to play, and there's a strong sense of satisfaction when you win. And at launch, there is a new mode coming to Warzone, supposedly a new PC anti-cheat system. Lord willing that works, because it's been disastrous in Warzone over the last couple of months, especially with cheaters. New zombie story, and the campaign from what I've seen looks really cool as well, so I'm excited for that. So the weapons I use the most are the MP40, STG, Thompson, Bar, and one of the snipers. They're all extremely powerful, very accurate, a ton of recoil in all of them. I will say that I played Champion Hill originally on PS5, but I got to play this beta preview on PC, which I much prefer. And I found the recoil was much more manageable on mouse and keyboard, but on controller, man, some of those weapons really kick, and you have to really manage your rate of fire. But on PC, I felt like I was just running and gunning, holding down the trigger, no problem, and it was extremely accurate. I'm really interested to see how players react to how snipers feel, because they feel great to fire. I mean, almost every time I shot anyone, it was a one-shot kill no matter where I hit them. At least if it was the waist up, it'd be a one-shot kill every time. But there probably won't be a lot of quick scoping going on, because raising your weapon to look down the sights, at least with the sniper, is much slower than past Call of Duty games. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I'm assuming if you change your scope and using Gunsmith to alter the weight of your weapon, you can probably aim down sights a lot faster, but just the stock sniper feels pretty hefty. Speaking of Gunsmith, I didn't actually get to explore it a whole lot, but from what I understand, it has more freedom than ever before. With unrestricted attachments, I think on certain weapons you can add up to 10, and you can now alter your ballistic type. So overall, I am very optimistic about Vanguard. Initially, I didn't really care, and now I'm actually anticipating the release. Now, that being said, I'm far more excited for Battlefield 2042 and Halo Infinite. So I'll be surprised if I want to play Call of Duty over either of those games this fall, but it's definitely one that'll be fun to jump to if I feel like taking a break from either of those other two. I'm a big fan of shooters, and if you're a fan as well, I think we have 3 awesome shooters to look forward to this fall. So based on what you've seen, what you've heard, especially if you've played, I'd love to hear from you down below. I make these videos because I love having the conversation, so don't hesitate to comment. I will respond. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.